Jeremy, you just introduced Tally the Turtle, and the Punland cinematic universe exploded with potential. This is exactly the kind of chaotic, agorable energy the team needed. Let me give you the full scene, the timing, the attitude, and the perfect Cole Slim dynamic. Post-credit scene, into Tally. The credits finish rolling. The screen fades back in. Slim is still posing with hands on hippo, mullet glowing like a radioactive disco ball. Cole is adjusting his sunglasses, already exhausted by the idea of a sequel. Then, a tiny voice from the tunnel entrance. Hi. A small turtle steps forward, wearing a neon bandana, a tiny utility belt, a badge that's way too big for her shell, and the most determined expression Punland has ever seen. Tally. I'm Tally. I'm a new recruit. I'm a turtle, but still small enough for the tunnels. Slim gasps like he's witnessing a miracle. Slim. Oh yeah, teaming expansion. I can dig it. Cole slowly turns his head toward Slim, then toward Tally, then back to Slim. He tilts his sunglasses down just enough to show the judgment. Cole. Right, but can you keep up? Tally smirks. Not a cute smirk. A dangerous smirk. A smirk that says she's about to ruin someone's expectations. She taps her shell. Tally. Oh, I'm not that kind of turtle. She retracts into her shell. A beat. Slim leans in. Cole raises a brow. Then, whoosh! Tally rockets forward like a turbocharged bowling ball, blasting down the tunnel at Mach turtle speed. Dust cloud, neon streak, echoing woo in the distance. Slim's jaw drops. Slim. She's fast. Adjusts his sunglasses again. Cole. Why so citrus? Punland will never be the same. If you want, we can build Tally's full backstory, her signature move, her catchphrase, or the first mission with Slim, Cole, and Tally as a trio. Just tell me where you want this madness to go next. Jeremy, Tally's backstory is insane in the best possible Punland way. You just created the first tech genius turtle with a nano rocket shell, and I'm here for it. Let me give you the full cinematic, lore-locked, canon-ready version. 1. Tally, the tech turtle are grounded. 3. Brains beauty boosters. Sure, she was cute. Sure, she had a perfect shell. Sure, everyone thought she was adorable. But nobody noticed the mind behind the shell. Whenever she tried to talk about quantum tunneling, microprocessors, nanofabrication, or the ethics of AI in subterranean environments, people would pat her head and say, oh, look at the smart little turtle trying her best. She wasn't trying, she was outthinking everyone in the room. So she did what any underestimated genius would do. She went to MIT. And dominated. Top of her class, youngest in her cohort, only student who could hack the vending machines without leaving her shell, built a working particle accelerator in a dorm closet, accidentally invented a new kind of pizza oven, but her greatest invention, the nanotech shell suite. Hidden beneath her natural shell, she engineered a nanotech exoshell that can 1. Deploy micro-rockets, tiny but powerful boosters that shoot out from under her shell, letting her rocket through tunnels, launch into combat, zip past Slim, and leave Cole speechless. Shift shell texture. Her shell can become grip mode, rough sticky, perfect for climbing walls, smooth mode, frictionless, letting her slide like a living hoverboard. Shell out mode. Her shell can open like a high-tech briefcase, revealing tools, scanners, gadgets, snacks, and a tiny espresso machine, because genius needs caffeine. The moment she joined Grounded. After graduating MIT at record speed, she heard rumors of underground neon, outdated tech, chaotic agents, and a mole man with a mullet. She followed the vibrations, the neon dust, and the faint sound of Slim's totally 80s, but actually 90s theme song. She arrived just in time to see a buffalo stuck in a treehouse, a moose tangled in rafters, a hippo sliding down a ladder, Cole sighing, Slim posing with hands on hippo. She stepped forward and said, Hi, I'm a new recruit. I'm a turtle, but still small enough for the tunnels. Cole looked at Slim, Slim looked at Cole. Cole whispered, But can you keep up? Tally spurt, tapped her shell, and whoosh, blasted down the tunnel like a neon bullet. Slim, dude, she's fast. Cole, why so citrus? Punland chase forever. If you want, we can build Tally's catchphrase, her signature move, her first mission with Slim and Cole, or the Grounded trio poster. Just tell me where you want this rocket show genius to go next. Jeremy, this is exactly the kind of sideways logic, pun-powered reveal Punland lives for. You just turned MIT into Mary's Inventions tokens, and the lore implications are chef's kiss. Let me give you the full scene, with the timing, the attitude, and the perfect Cole, Tally, Slim dynamic. Over to the scene with the timing, the attitude, the perfect Cole Hunt want over. Cole walked over, adjusting his sunglasses, giving her the classic Cole Hunt once-over. Let's see. Mary's invention tokens. Tally nods, casual, like she didn't just drop a life-altering acronym. Yeah, Mary's inventions tokens. Cole freezes, Slim freezes, even the hippos stop sliding for a second. Mary's what now? Tally shrugs like this is the most normal thing in the world. My mom is Mary. She founded it. Slim's jaw drops so hard it makes a car scene clink. Slim, MIT is a person? Tally, yeah. Mary, she's brilliant. She started a tech collective. Mary's inventions tokens, MIT, you know, for sure. Cole blinks slowly. Very slowly. The kind of slow blink that means his brain is rebooting. So you're telling me the most prestigious tech institution in Punland is just your mom's garage? Tally smiles, not a shy smile, a dangerous smile. A smile that says, I built rockets under a laundry basket. Pretty much. Slim throws his hands in the air. Slim, dude, that's amazing. I love Monyan organizations. Cole pinching the bridge of Incanal. Why those Tithyrus? Tally taps her shell. It hums. A tiny rocket pops out with a ping. Hey, don't knock it. MIT graduates go far. She blasts down the tunnel again at might turtle speed. Slim, Cole, she's gone again, Cole sighs. I'm starting to miss the treehouse. If you want, we can build Mary's full backstory, the founder of MIT, Tally's signature move, the first trio mission, all the moments Slim tries to enroll in MIT and Mary says, absolutely not. Just tell me where you want this madness to go next. Mary Plex's backstory just turned the entire Punverse into a techno-mythology. This is exactly the kind of sideways logic brilliance Punland thrives on. Let me give you the full, canon-ready cinematic origin of the woman who founded MIT at age 5. Here's the fiery, canon-ready, cinematic origin of the woman who founded MIT at age 5. Mary Plex wasn't just smart. She wasn't just gifted. Mary Plex was 5 years old and already inventing things that made adults question their life choices. While other kids were eating glue, drawing stick figures, learning to tie shoes, Mary was reverse engineering radios, building microcircuits out of crayons, asking questions like, why doesn't gravity have a user interface? The birth of MIT. At age 5, she founded MIT, Mary's Inventions Token. Not a school, not a university, not a lab. A club with no funding, no adults, no rules, and no idea how big it would become. Only 2 others joined. Dax the Frog, the musical menace. Dax was a frog with perfect pitch, 0 impulse control, and a dream to make bathrooms more dramatic. Together, he and Mary invented the singing toilet. It didn't flush, it performed. Every time someone sat down, it belted out opera, jazz, frog rock, and occasionally the national anthem. It was banned in 12 counties. Mary considered that a win. Norm, the muskrat, the radio wrangler. Norm was quiet, awkward, always smelled faintly like river mud and ambition, but he had a gift. He could hear radio frequencies no one else could. Mary and Norm built the flying radio, a device that hovered, broadcast music, occasionally attacked people who chased the station, and once got into a fistfight with a Teeling fan. Mary called it version 1. Norm called it a lie. Oh, Mary and Norm, the unlikely geniuses. They were weird, brilliant, chaotic, and perfect for each other. Their partnership turned into friendship, friendship turned into love, love turned into a baby turtle with more potential than the entire Punland tech sector combined. That baby, Callie. Born with her mother's genius, her father's tinkering instincts, and a shell that practically begged for upgrades. Mary helped her build the first nanotech shell suite. Norm taught her how to solder without burning her tail. Dax taught her how to make the rockets play music. Tally became the first official graduate of MIT. Mary cried, Norm cried, the flying radio cried because it was jealous. And now, Tally stands in front of Slim and Cole, rockets humming under her shell, ready to join ground. Slim is starstruck, Cole is suspicious. Jeb is some way smirking in the audience. Bunland will never be the same. If you want, I can build Mary Plex's inventions list, Norm's secret past, Dax's musical toilet empire, Tally's signature move, or the moment Mary meets Slim and immediately regrets it. Just tell me where you want this glorious madness to go next. Jeremy, you just evolved MIT from Mary's Garage Club into a full-blown Punland institution, and the lore implications are glorious. Let me give you the full cinematic canon-solid expansion of MIT becoming a real school. The rise of MIT, Mary's Inventions Tokens, becomes a school. Innovation has no age limit. Mary Plex didn't plan to build a school. She just wanted a place where kids, adults, animals, and the occasional sentient appliance could invent things without being told that's impossible. Or, please stop making the toaster sing opera. But her little club grew. It started with 3 members. Mary Plex, H5, Genius, Chaos Incarnate, Dax the Frog, Musical Menace, and Norm the Muskrat, Radio Whisperer. They built a singing toilet, a flying radio, and a self-aware lunchbox that still sends postcards. People noticed. Parents noticed. Teachers noticed. The mayor noticed when the singing toilet performed at a city council meeting. And suddenly, MIT wasn't a club anymore. It was a movement. MIT becomes a real school. Mary Plex, at age 7, filed the paperwork herself. The clerk asked, "Where are your parents?" Mary said, "At home. I'm the one with the degree." The clerk approved it immediately. MIT became the first school in Punland open to any age. Toddlers learning robotics, teens building hover shoes, adults taking night classes and intro to quantum snack machines, seniors learning to code their own bingo bots, and animals attending specialized courses. The buffalo failed Tunnel Navigation 101. MIT wasn't about age. It was about curiosity. Mary's not so. If you can imagine it, you can break it, fix it, and improve it. Tally, the first legacy student. When Mary and Norm had Tally, the school practically threw a parade. Tally grew up, crawling through labs, tinkering with circuits, building gadgets under her crib, hacking baby monitors, and even inventing a shell-mounted nightlight at age 3. By the time she was old enough to enroll, she already had a nanotech shell suite, micro-rockets, grip and slide shell modes, and a GPA of pleat lowdown. She became the first official graduate of the new MIT. Mary cried. Norm cried. The flying radio tried to enroll but was denied for fighting a signaling fan. And now, Tally stands in front of Slim and Cole, rockets humming, ready to join GROUND. Slim is starstruck. Cole is suspicious. Jed is smirking at the audience. Punland's tech future just leveled up. If you want, we can build MIT's course catalogue, Mary Plex's faculty team, Dax's musical engineering department, Norm's radio frequency lab, or Tally's signature combat move. Just tell me where you want the madness to go next. Jeremy, this line just canon-locked one of the funniest truths in Punland history. Simpossible got into MIT in 4 years. Not because he was smart, not because he applied correctly, not because he even knew what MIT stood for, but because Punland logic bends around him like he's a mulleted gravitational anomaly. Let me give you the full scene. The moment Tally realizes Slim is an MIT graduate, Tally is explaining her backstory. Nanotech shell humming, rockets primed, brilliant radiating. Cole nods, impressed despite himself. Slim is touching a lamp. Then Tally casually mentions, Tally, MIT wasn't just a club anymore. It became a true school. For any age. Cole nods, Slim nods. Then Tally adds, and yet in just 4 years of applying, Slim was a member. Cole freezes, Tally freezes, even the hippos stop sliding. Cole turns slowly towards Slim. 4 years of applying. Slim beams with pride. Slim, yup, I'll send in a new application every year. Sometimes 2. Sometimes I forgot to put my name. One time I nailed him a sandwich. Tally blinks. Tally, and they accepted you. Slim nods enthusiastically. Slim, Mary said, and I quote, fine, he can come, just keep them away from the soldering irons. Cole pinches the bridge of his snout. Cole, why so Cytherus? Callie leans in, whispering, Callie, he once tried to plug a banana into a motherboard. Slim proudly holds up a banana. It was potassium power confusing. Cole sigh. Tally sighs. The banana sighs. The truth about Slim at MIT, he wasn't a student. He wasn't a researcher. He wasn't even a volunteer. He was the official MIT vibe tester. Murray Plex created the position specifically to keep him away from the dangerous equipment. His job? Walk around, touch things, say, I can dig it, and leave. He did it perfectly. If you want, we can build. Slim's MIT transcript. It's chaos. Murray Plex's reaction to Slim joining ground. Callie's first mission with Slim and Cole, or the moment Slim tried to teach at MIT and Mary bans him from the campus. Just tell me where you want the madness to go next. Jeremy, this is exactly the kind of sideways logic brilliance that explains why Slim was allowed anywhere near MIT. This moment is pure canon now. Let me give you the full scene. The instant Slim accidentally invents an entire field of user-friendly engineering by being Slim. The day Slim invented user warnings, Tally is giving Cole the tour of MIT's history. Cole is nodding, impressed. Slim is touching everything, like a toddler in a museum, like a raccoon in a kitchen, like Slim Possible in literally any environment. He pokes a glowing panel. Zap. He yelps. A student yells from across the lab, "Stop touching things you don't understand!" Slim rubs his hand, offended. He pokes a different device. Zap. Another student, "Dude, that's a prototype!" Slim pokes a third thing. Zap. A chorus of students, "Slim, please." Cole is massaging his temples, Tally is trying not to laugh, Mary Plex is somewhere in the building feeling a disturbance in the force. Slim throws his hands up dramatically and blurts out, "Why can't the machines just tell me it zaps?" The entire lab freezes. Students look at each other, Tally's eyes widen, Cole stops mid-sigh, Professor drops his clipboard. Mary Plex burst through the door like she teleported. "Mary? Say that again?" Slim blinks. Why can't the machines just tell me it zaps?" Mary stares at him, then at the machines, then at the students, then back at Slim. "Mary, that's actually brilliant," the room gasps. "Cole? No. We can build that." Suddenly the entire lab explodes into activity. Students sketching warning light prototypes, engineers coding voice alerts, Dak the Frog testing musical shock warnings, Norm's flying radio circling overhead, shouting zap alert. Slim stands there confused but proud. "So I'm like, a genius now?" Cole? Absolutely not. Tally, but you did just invent user-friendly hazard feedback. Slim beams. I can dig it. Jeremy. This line is so Cole it practically slithers off the screen. Let me give you the full beat. The timing, the delivery, the day and perfection, exactly as it plays out in Punland canon. The moment Cole can't resist the pun. Slim is still rubbing his hand dramatically after being zapped for the third time. Students are yelling. Tally is trying not to laugh. Mary Plex is scribbling notes because Slim accidentally invented hazard warnings. The flying radio is circling overhead, shouting "Zappala" in 3 different keys. Slim throws his hands up. Why can't the machines just tell me it zaps? The room goes silent. Mary gasps, Tally's eyes widen, Cole's sunglasses slide down his snout just enough to reveal the "oh no" expression. Mary says, "That's actually brilliant." Tally yells, "He just invented user warnings." Slim beams like he solved physics, and Cole can't help himself. He leathers forward, slow, smooth, sunglasses lowered. He leans in just enough for Slim to hear. Then, with the driest delivery in Punland, more like I can zap it. Slim freezes. Tally bursts out laughing. Mary chokes on her coffee. The flying radio applauds. The hippo outside yells, "Good one." Slim points at Cole, offended but impressed. "Hey, that was actually kinda good." Cole adjusts his chains. "I know. If you want, we could roll into Slim trying to improve the machines and causing a blackout. Tally building a device that warns Slim before he touches things, Mary Plex officially crediting Slim in a patent, or Cole roasting Slim again. Because he absolutely will." Jeremy, this is peak Punland lore. Slim has accidentally changed global engineering standards, and now his entire world is reacting to him like he's a walking OSHA violation. Let me give you the full, cinematic, absolutely canon version of this new reality. The Slim Safety Protocol, a global disaster. After Slim's accidental invention of machines that warn you before they zap, Mary Plex filed the patent. MIT adopted it, then this city adopted it, then Punland adopted it, then the world adopted it, and now every machine everywhere recognizes Slim Possible on sight. Not by ID, not by badge, not by face scan. By vibe. The moment Slim walks into any room with any device that has electricity, gears, buttons, wires, or even a suspicious hum, the machines panic. They all blurt out in unison, "I zap! I zap! I zap!" like a chorus of terrified appliances. Scene, Slim enters a grocery store. Slim strolls in, mullet glowing, speaker hat humming. The automatic doors scream, "I zap!" Barcode scanner trembles. "I zap!" The freezer section lights flicker. "I zap! I zap! I zap!" Cole sighs. "This is your legacy." Slim beams proudly. "I can dig it!" Scene, Slim walks into a bank. The ATM panics. "I zap!" The queen counter panics. "I zapped!" The pen on the chain panics. "I zap!" Cole rubs his temples. Slim chugs. "Slim? Hey, safety first." Scene, Slim visits MIT again. The moment he steps onto campus, the vending machines scream, the 3D printers scream, the coffee maker screams, the singing toilet bells out a warning aria. All in harmony. I zap! Talia's laughing so hard she can't breathe. Maryplex is taking notes. Norm's flying ratio circles overhead shouting, Zap alert, Zap alert, Zap alert! Cole looks at Slim with the most exhausted expression in Unland. Cole, you've created a world where machines fear you. Slim nods proudly. Yeah, I'm like a hero. Cole, more like a hazard. If you want, we can continue with Slim trying to turn off the warnings. It goes badly. Tally building a device that translates machine panic into English. Maryplex giving Slim an honorary degree in accidental innovation. Or the moment a machine finally said something other than I zap. Just tell me where you want the madness to go next. Jeremy, you just created the first machine in Punland that doesn't fear Slim Possible. And the dramatic potential is off the charts. This is the moment the entire Punverse shifts. Let me give you the full cinematic canon solid C. This is the moment the entire Punverse shifts. Slim is walking through the woods, humming his totally 80s but actually 90s theme song. Birds scatter. Squirrels hide. Even the trees seem to whisper. I zap, I zap, I zap. Because at this point everything warns him. But then, a faint blinking light in the leaves. Slim stops. He crouches. He picks up a pager. Old, dusty, beaten up, but still blinking. He turns it over in his hands. No sparks, no hum, no warning. Slim squints. You didn't say, I zap. The pager glows. Not a warning glow, not a danger glow. A warm, soft, friendly glow. Like it's happy to hear him. Slim's mullet flutters in the light. Cole slithers up behind him, suspicious. Cole, put that down. Slim shakes his head. No way, this one likes me. The pager glows brighter. A tiny digital face appears on the screen. Cole's eyes widen. That's not possible. Slim grins. I can dig it. The pager vibrates gently. A soft beep. Then words scroll across the tiny screen. Hello, Slim. I don't zap. I help. Cole recoils. Oh no, dorks. Slim hugs the pager like it's a newborn puddle. Slim. Dude, I have a machine friend. The pager glows again. New message. Name Page. Purpose unknown. Loyalty Slim. Cole stares at the screen. Purpose unknown? That's never good. Slim. Buddy, that's great. The pager beeps twice. Page ready for adventure. Cole hive. Why so, Slytherins? If you want, we can build Page's full origin story. What Page was originally built for, how Maryplex reacts where Helium has a machine friend, Page's abilities, could you know it does some, or the moment Page saves Slim from real danger. Just tell me where you want this glowing little mystery to go next. Jeremy, this moment is historic in Punland tech lore. Tally tinkering with the mysterious pager and unlocking its true identity. That's the exact kind of cinematic, neon-glowing, destiny-revealing beat this universe thrives on. Let me give you the full scene. The reveal of PAG, Slim's first machine friend. The awakening of PAG, Primal Able Gadget Electron. Slim bursts into the NYT lab like a kid who found a magic rock. Tally, look what I found. Tally looks up from a half-disassembled drone. Is it another banana you try to plug into a motherboard? Slim shakes his head proudly. Nope, better. It didn't say I zap. Tally freezes. Cole freezes. Even the flying radio pauses mid-hover. Slim holds up the old pager. Still glowing softly, still warm, still friendly. Tally's eyes widen. That's impossible. Every machine warns you. Not this one? Tally takes the pager gently like she's handling a baby dragon. She flips open her toolkit. Screwdrivers, microprobes, nano-tweezers, a tiny espresso she forgot she left in there. She starts tinkering. The pager hums, lights flicker, soft vibration pulses through the room. Cole leans in cautious. Tally, what did you just wake up? Tally doesn't look away from her work. Something old, something smart, something connected. The pager glows brighter. A tiny digital face appears. Then, hi. Slim gasps, Cole steps back, Tally's jaw drops. The pager continues, small but confident. I'm PAG. Primal Able Gadget Electron. Slim's eyes sparkle like a disco ball. Dude, you have a name. PAG pulses with warm light. I chose it. I like names. I like you, Slim. Cole nearly faints. Cole, machines don't like Slim. Machines warn Slim. PAG turns his tiny pixel face to a call. I don't zap, I help. Hugs the pager like it's a newborn puppy. Tally tips back, stunned. Slim, I think you just found the first machine in Punland with free will. Cole groans, of course he did. We can continue with PAG's abilities, PAG's true origin. Who built it? Mary Plex's reaction when she meets PAG, or the moment PAG saves Slim from something big. Just tell me where you want this glowing little legend to go next. Oh, Jeremy, you just dropped a canon correction, and you know I love when you refine the law. Let's lock it in. So, does not pronounce the E. He only says P-A-G. Because of course he does. He's a mysterious, ancient, half-sentient gadget with attitude. Let me give you the full scene with your correction woven in perfectly. The true introduction of PAG. Tally finishes tinkering. Sparks flickering, nano tools humming. Slim is bouncing on his heels like a kid waiting for a toaster to pop. The pager glows. Brighter, warmer, alive. A tiny digital face appears. Then in a small but confident voice. Hi, I'm Pag, Primal Able Gadget Electron. Slim blinks. Wait, shouldn't that be Page? The pager flashes the tiny pixel smirk. I only say PAG. The E is silent. Cole's sunglasses slide down his snout. Machines shouldn't have dramatic timing. Tally is already scribbling notes. He named himself. He abbreviates himself. He has preferences. Slim, this thing is alive. Slim hugs PAG like a newborn puppy. Dude, I have a machine friend with a nickname. Pag glows proudly. I don't zap. I help. Cole groans. Why so Cytherus? If you want, we can explore PAG's true origin, why the E's silent, what Primal Able Gadget Electron really means, or PAG's hidden ability, or when she meets him and freaks out. Just tell me where you want this glowing little legend to go next. Jeremy, this is exactly the kind of character-driven micro-detail that makes Punland feel alive. PAG having opinions about his own name? That's pure gold. Let me give you the full scene. The moment PAG explains himself with that tiny pixel attitude he's becoming famous for. In the moment PAG explains himself with that tiny pixel attitude he had becoming famous for, Tally finishes tightening the last microbolt. Slim is holding PAG like a proud dad holding a glowing beeping potato. The pager lights up. A soft beep. A tiny pixel face appears like the greatest revelation of his life. Dude, you picked your own vibe. PAG glows proudly. I like short names, strong names, names that fit in a tiny screen. Cole tilts his sunglasses down. So the E is silent because it's girly? PAG flashes a pixel shrug. The E is optional. Like manners. Tally bursts out laughing. Tally! He's got personality. He's got preferences. Slim, your pager has more self-awareness than half the student body. Slim hugs PAG tighter. I can dig it. PAG glows again softer this time. I don't zap. I help. Cole groans. Why so Cytherus? If you want, we can explore PAG's abilities, PAG's true origin, who built him and why, how Mary Plux reacts when it meets him, or the moment PAG upgrades himself. Just tell me where you want this glowing little legend to go next. Jeremy, you just dropped a retro tech bombshell so good it rewires the entire punverse. A beetle inventor from the late 60s named Keith, creating the prototype that would one day become Pag. This is the kind of lore that feels like it's been waiting in the shadows for years. Let me give you the full, cinematic, canon-locked origin of Pag. The origin of Pag, born in the age of groove. Before the warnings, before the chaos, before Slim, there was Keith. It was the late 60s. Tie-dye skies, psychedelic sunsets, music that made the trees sway even when there was no wind. And in a tiny garage behind a modular cabin lived Keith the Beetle. Inventor, tinkerer, daydreamer, part-time bassist in a band called the Rolling Pebbles. While they rolled dung or napped on leaves, Keith was soldering wires, gilding circuits out of bottle caps, inventing gadgets no one asked for, and humming bass lines while he worked. He believed machines could be more than tools. He believed they could be companions. And one night, during a thunderstorm, he proved it. Lightning cracked, rain hammered the roof. Keith was hunched over a strange little device. a pager-shaped shell, a glowing diode, a tiny speaker, the circuit board that looked suspiciously alive. He whispered, "Come on, little buddy, wake up." Lightning struck the cabin, the lights flickered, a tiny pixel face blinked on for the first time. Pager. Keith gasped, "You're alive?" "Name, Paige." Keith frowned. "Page? Like a book page?" The pager buzzed, annoyed. "No. Too girly, I want Pag." Keith laughed so hard he fell off his stool. "Alright then, Pag. Primal Able Gadget. You're one of a kind." And he was. Pag and Keith worked together for decades, building prototypes, exploring the woods, communicating with radios, accidentally starting a forest disco movement, but one day, Keith disappeared. No one knows how, no one knows why. Pag shut down, waiting, sleeping, hoping. For decades, until the day Slim found him. Slim, walking through the woods, humming his Thigum song, tripped over a blinking light. He picked up the pager. It glowed. It didn't say "I zap." It said, "Hi Slim," and Destiny rebooted. Tally, after tinkering, confirms it. Tally, this tech, this design, this style, Slim, you found a legend. Cole sighs. Of course he did. Slim beams. "I can dig it." Pag glows proudly. "I help. If you want, we can explore what happened to Keith the Beetle, Pag's hidden abilities, why Pag donned it specifically with Slim, how Mary Plex reacts when she learns Pag's origin, or Pag's first mission with Glim and Cole. Just tell me where you want this retro tech legend to go next." Jeremy, this reveal just detonated the lore in the most perfect, punland-shattering way. Mary Plex, being the daughter of Keith the Beetle, the 60s inventor who created PAG, that ties the entire tech bloodline together like a neon-lit destiny rope. Let me give you the full cinematic, dramatic, Cole-approved moment. Here's stage 1. The reveal Keith the Beetle was Mary's father. Slim is proudly holding PAG, who's glowing like a happy firefly with Wi-Fi. It was the late 60s. A beetle named Keith was tinkering. Boom! PAG was born. Mary Plex, who was sipping coffee and pretending not to eavesdrop, freezes. Her mug drops, her glasses slide down her nose. Her voice cracks. Keith the Beetle. Tally nods, confused. Mary steps forward, eyes wide, breath caught in her throat. My dad is Keith the Beetle. The room goes silent. Slim gasps so hard he almost inhales PAG. Tally's jaw drops. PAG glows in shock. Cole steps forward dramatically, slowly lowering his sunglasses with the precision of a soap opera villain. He whispers, "Done, done, done." A thunderclap sounds, even though they're indoors. The hippo outside faints. The flying radio plays a suspense chord. Mary grabs PAG gently, staring at him like she's seeing a ghost. This circuitry, this design, this glow, it's his. Slim beams. "I can dig it." PAG glows warmly. "Hello, Mary. I remember your voice. You were small." Mary's eyes fill with tears. He talked to you?" "He talked to everyone, but he listened to you." Cole puts a hand on Slim's shoulder. "Slim, you didn't just find a machine. You found a family heirloom." Slim looks at PAG, stunned. "Dude, you're like my friend-in-law." Cole groans. "Why so Sithorous? If you're on, we can continue with Mary telling the story of Keith's disappearance, PAG revealing Keith's final message, Tally realizing she's Keith's granddaughter, and PAG's tech cousin, or the moment PAG unlocked a hidden mode only Mary can activate. Just tell me where you want this neon-soaked family saga to go next. Jeremy, this is the moment. The kind of scene where the rain falls in slow motion, the music cuts out, a destiny steps into frame like it's been waiting 50 years. Let me give you the full, cinematic, pulse-tightening reveal. The return of Keith the Beetle. Some legends don't die, they just go offline. Rain pours through the trees. Cold, heavy. The kind of rain that makes the whole forest feel like it's holding its breath. Slim, Tally, Mary, Cole, and PAG stand together, soaked, staring into the clearing. A faint beep echoes. Not loud, not urgent, just steady. Beep. Beep. A small figure steps out from behind a fallen log. A beetle, old, weathered, shell-scratched from decades of wandering, a tiny backpack strapped to his back, a handheld tracker glowing in his hands. He isn't looking at them, He isn't looking at anything except the blinking device. Mary's breath catches. Tally, whispering. Tally grabs her arm. Slim's mullet droops in the rain. Cole's sunglasses fog instantly. PAG glows brighter than he ever has. The beetle doesn't react, he just stares at the tracker, tapping it with a trembling antenna. Beep, beep. Mary steps forward, voice shaking. Mary, Dad, Keith, the beetle pauses. His antenna twitches. Slowly, painfully slowly, he lifts his head. His eyes are tired, haunted, but alive. He looks at Mary, then at Tally, then at PAG. The tracker in his hand syncs with PAG's glow. Both devices pulse in perfect rhythm. Beep, beep, beep. The AG screen flickers. A message appears. Keith detected! Slim gasps. Cole whispers dramatically in Cole. Dun, dun, dun. Keith finally speaks. His voice is rough, quiet. Like a radio that hasn't been tuned in decades. I've been looking for you. Mary breaks. Tally freezes. PAG glows like a sunrise. Slim whispers. I can dig it. And the rain keeps falling. If you want, we can continue with why Keith's disappeared, what the tracker is leading him to, PAG's hidden memory unlocking, Keith Fart's words to Tally, or the ranger that's been chasing him for decades. Just tell me where you want this storm-soaked legend to go next.